Welcome to the analysis of the final of the Cricket World Cup 2019.
At the Mecca of cricket, two teams will try to conquer the final frontier.
Both England and New Zealand come with a stream of victories and they are challenging each other to pick their maiden cup.
Right. These two teams have been for me, underdog is an understatement for somebody like New Zealand. They've played champion cricket all through, and England also had one of the best contingent this time. Now, if we really look at both the teams, the opening partnerships have got a stark difference. I would say there is broad daylight between the.
Yes, in fact, New Zealand's opening has been quite pathetic, to say the least.
See, Martin Guptill and Henry Nicholls have played for 6 innings together. And
yes, and
32 runs at 10.63 is what they average per wicket.
And 32 runs is the least that you expect in a single match. On the contrary, England.
Yes, 548 runs at approximately 90, on an average. And
considering that Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow, the partnership broke in between when Jason was injured, but once he came back, he's been unstoppable.
See, this man plays fearless cricket. He's probably Virendra Sehwag for.
Yes, and more. His longevity is much more than Sehwag, but then they know the conditions. Jason Roy is a local player.
Yes, and Johnny Bairstow has been playing, fantastic cricket right through. He left the IPL early, and then even in the IPL he played well. Now here also he made an impact. Now it is to be seen whether he will become the highest run scorer, pipping Rohit Sharma.
Well, Johnny Bairstow has a long way to go, but then we have the others like Kane Williams or Joe Root, who might have a better advantage.
These are the different players. See, Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor on one side, Joe Root and Ian Morgan on the other side. These are the difference players.
Yes.
Now, if there is a team, there is a sudden wobble at the top, these people, and they have shown.
Yes, they bring that solidity to the middle order. Number 3 and 4 is fixed. This has been the problem with most other teams who didn't have a proper number 3 and 4 fixed.
That's right.
England has Root and Morgan, while New Zealand has Williamson and Taylor, and they
did not tinker with their batting.
They haven't tinkered, and they're actually the solid middle that actually fits the entire team.
And then came the beauty of these two teams is that apple to apple comparison. You have the all rounders who are making an impact. Colin Randolph and Jimmy Neesham on one side, and then you have Ben Stokes and Chris Woakes on the other side.
Yes, you have Ben Stokes and Chris Woakes. Don't forget, before the two all-rounders come, you have Latham here and Butler there, both of whom have been batting phenomenally.
But then again, if you look at it in a team like where Ben Stokes and Chris Woakes are in such red-hot form, I would not add extra bowlers. Instead, I would add extra batsmen to bolster my batting attack. But these two have been phenomenal for England, and I used to say that we pray that they come good, and I don't know, the prayers have been listened to.
New Zealand did have some problems with these all-rounders. They've not been as consistent as the English all-rounders, but then in a match where Neesham failed, Grandhome took over, they have been complementing each other and ensuring that one of them is always batting properly.
And then see, we cannot stop comparing both these teams. You look at the bowlers they have. On one side, Mark Wood, Jofra Archer, Liam Plunkett, and
on the New Zealand side, you have Boult, Henry, and Ferguson. So you have those 3 sheer pace bowlers on both sides who have been doing extraordinarily in this tournament. Look at the semi-finals. Both teams, the pacers made all that impact.
Yes, they created a big crater in the batting order.
Absolutely, early wickets on both sides.
The way they moved the ball, phenomenal.
Don't forget, both teams have one spinner who have been persisted. Adil Rashid has been persisted in spite of his ups and downs. Same is the case with Santner. Santner comes with an additional batting effort.
Adil Rashid, he's got the guile, he's got the, but the only thing is how much are we leaving to Adil Rashid? Now somebody like Michel Santner, if he gets for 50 odd runs or maybe 70 odd runs in his quota of 10 overs, and then he comes back and then makes 25-30 runs, he is making up. But Adil Rashid, he does not do that.
Adil Rashid hasn't gotten a chance to bat because he bats much lower than Santner for that matter. But then if you want me to pinpoint one weakness that New Zealand has vis-a-vis England, it is a top order. The openers aren't clicking, so that is the worry.
See, Martin Guptill, the proverbial Barakoon Maaf, his 9 innings of failure or 8 innings of failure, which we have seen, that one run out of Mahendra Singh Dhoni in the last over actually made him a star overnight.
True, but then his role. See, New Zealanders are actually a very good fielding team. It's not just one Guptill who's made a difference.
But
I feel his batting at the top is a worry, and New Zealand needs to have a good start at this stage.
he and Nichols have to come good at least now.
Do you think New Zealand will try to bring in Colin Munro instead of Nichols?
No, they don't want to tinker it at this last
Absolutely.
moment. And coming to the ground and the conditions, if you have looked at the Lords has been it's like Lords is a ground next door for most of these cricketers.
True, but Lords has its traditional slope. The wicket on one side slopes down.
So you have to understand, many visiting teams have not really fared well at Lords.
But
because
then
they don't understand the slope well.
True, but the conditions that New Zealanders have played back home is more or less the same that they see in England.
They run into the wind in England. In New Zealand, if you look at it, the Wellingtons and Dunedins, they run into the wind. They are not exhausted very quickly. They might put, there will be slight loss of pace by running because they are running against the slope. But that does not stop them from moving the ball around.
No, this is a match where it looks like a test of equals. Both teams have their batting, bowling, the all-rounders almost sorted. If there is an advantage that England has, or rather if there are two, one, it is a home advantage, and two, their openers are in phenomenal form.
See, for me, the New Zealand advantage which I have seen is that, they still cherish their underdogs tag. They don't have any pressure. Now, I might not agree with it. I will not agree with New Zealand being called underdogs because the team is very good. But then they want to cherish that underdog tag, no pressure on them.
Well, there is added pressure on England, the home crowd, their expectations. And they haven't won a World Cup.
New Zealand, they are heavily reliant on their bowlers. See, once Tom Moody said that it is the batsmen who will win you the matches, but it's the bowlers who will win you the tournament. So this tournament has been about good bowling.
Yeah, it has been about good bowling, but then the last match, in spite of good bowling, it is the middle order. It's all boils down to Kane and Taylor. What are they going to do in the middle order? And if they have a good start, bat first. If New Zealand puts up a big score, it's a worry for England.
It's a worry for England. And England, in all these 92 finals, they don't want to repeat that. Chasing, getting wobbly, and then finally giving the game away. They don't want to do it. Certainly, there is advantage New England on this, but I would say New Zealand is a definitive worthy winner in this entire tournament.
Well, let's look forward to a great match, the finale of the World Cup.
Right.
We both feel it could be either way. I feel New Zealand has a slight edge, while England has the home advantage.
It's a new name that is going to be etched on the trophy. Good luck, England.
Good luck, New Zealand.